Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live. Once again, my name is Josh Littlequist, and my good friend, good pal, is with me today, as always, throwing some shade, spitting some game at the financial markets and how they work, different strategies. On the last segment, we were talking about wealth strategies, 401k, IRA, whatever that wealth account is, that retirement account, something that you work so hard for all your life to be able to spend those golden years not at the golden arches, but hopefully you're doing the fun things that you've always wanted to do at that time. If you're planning for that time or you want to be able to do those fun things, travel, it may take a little bit more money because, as we know, things are not getting any cheaper. It's getting more expensive to travel, and people just want to be able to have more choices in their life during retirement time and not just be stuck reading books in their basement. So simply, we have investing classes that we do locally here at the Academy just to enlighten you on some of the opportunities that are in those wealth accounts, those 401ks, IRAs. Some people, Al, don't even know that you can manage them yourself. You're not required to have somebody else hold your money, and that's really what they're doing. So we're seeing more and more people come to the Academy here to be able to wrap their arms around their money and be able to make smart investing decisions, hopefully to have more longevity with those accounts. Some people want to leave a legacy. So that's why we have these investing classes right here at the Academy. We're here in Bloomington, right off 494. Simply just text the word investing, and that's to the number 210-210. Text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats, one for you and one for a friend. If you're online, the old interweb, go to the old www. So go to otamin.com. That's otamin.com. So Al, it's the final segment of the show here. And it's been a wrestling theme, and just on the break here, we were talking a little bit about GE, and since it is a wrestling theme, everybody remembers Hulk Hogan, the old Hulkster, as some people call him, and he'd always say, "My Hulkamaniacs, eat your vitamins and say your prayers," and that's really what GE has done since October. GE has been eating their vitamins because price was at about spinach, yes.
Spinach.
It was at about $50 per share, now currently at $138, which is up about 192%. Now, they have been eating their vitamins, definitely. Now, what could happen with GE moving forward? I have no idea. I don't have a crystal ball. But there are opportunities where it doesn't really matter. So we talked a little bit about income accounts. People are looking to take part in this great up move in the markets and, soaring to the upside, all-time highs. And people want to do that same thing with their retirement accounts as well.
Right.
So they're talking about, hey, what should I go buy? Is it time to go buy GE? Well, what I would say, it might be a little bit late to the party, but that's not financial advice. That's just my entertainment. Hopefully you find it entertaining as well. But there are strategies for traders or investors to profit in up markets. Everybody knows that. But we haven't really discussed the down markets because that's a great opportunity in short term, right? So let's talk about, and also how much faster it is. Unfortunately, people think that trading and investing is a get-rich-quick thing. That's not the case. But there are opportunities to profit faster as markets go down because they go down 3 to 4 times faster. So just explain that opportunity.
It's so important to be able to do that. If you look at the movement of the market, it's not up all the time. It's up probably a little bit more than 50% of the time. The other 50%, it's either down or sideways. If you are not participating beneficially in a down market, you're either losing or you're staying flat. So basically, half of your life, you're either losing or you're flat.
So half of your life, you're a loser?
Well,
that's no
exactly
fun.
how it comes. We want to turn that around.
That's if they're just holding stocks.
Yeah, if you're just holding things, if you buy into...
So friends, you're not a loser half your life.
Yeah.
That's just if you're holding stocks to the upside.
If you buy into the buy and hold strategy, where you're just holding on through down markets, basically half of the time you're probably losing. But that does not make you a loser.
There you
it makes
go.
your portfolio
We had
a
some
loser.
people fuming there, Al. We were going to get calls in and say, hey, Al called me a loser, but I saved you
I have
there.
enough people upset with me already. I don't need to add more. But you mentioned before the people you were talking to that are retired and they're seeing their 401ks go down in value. One of the reasons is that when you retire, money isn't going into your account anymore. Where was it coming from before? The money in your 401k was coming, there were 3 sources. One was you putting money in, another was your employer putting money in, and the third was the returns on your portfolio. And to be honest with you, those returns, if you take out the money you put in and your employer put in, and if you just look at the returns of the investments themselves, they have not been very good. Over the course of maybe 20, 30 years, maybe 4 or 5%, not very good. So when you retire and that money's not going in and you're taking money out, of course the money you have is dwindling. We talk about these piles of you sometimes refer to it as an ice pile or snow pile with the sun shining on it. You may have many more years left when your pile is dwindled down to a not very attractive size. So how do you not let that happen? There are assets and strategies you can use to generate income off of what you have in retirement. I think it's more important, not necessarily how much money you have in your retirement accounts, but it's how much income you can generate off of them. How much income do you need to live successfully and comfortably, and how do you do that in a way where it will last you, until you no longer need it? Mm-hmm. So you can generate income off of it. You have to have some exposure to the stock market or you're not going to do well. There's a way of doing that where you are maybe making some changes from an index to another index, a change from something that's not working into something that is. And then also you have to have protection. So those are 3 components there. And by the way, we have a strategy, a retirement wealth strategy that we'll talk to you about, where we actually concentrate on those 3 components, and we actually manage portfolios that our students have access to look at what we're doing to go from what's not working into something that's working. So
it's for educational purposes, Al, is what that is, so that way people can see how that's done,
exactly.
and they want to be able to do that same type of strategy.
Yeah,
so it's not just to clarify, we don't manage their accounts.
We're not. We want you to be able to manage your own money.
Save your fees. You don't have no fees then.
There are no fees. You have access to your money whenever you need it. But the bottom line, I think, is that people now have the ability to outperform what most of the financial advisors can do for you. And there's a number of reasons for that. We kind of go over that in these classes. But the only person that's going to wake up every morning and be concerned about your wallet and your portfolio is you. And you have the opportunity to take advantage of all of the sophisticated trading platforms that are available, the assets that are available, and this is the most important thing, the education that's available. To do this properly, it's like anything else you do. You have to take a look at it as a process you go through. There are steps that you go through that you get better at each time you go through those steps. That's an education accompanied with skills. You have to have the skills to know how to use that knowledge, that education that you get.
Yeah, I like how you say that. Is the only person that really has their best interest is you, and if you look in the mirror, that's who that person is. And Al gave me some good advice many, many years ago, and he said, Josh, if you want to have your best interest, look in the mirror. And I did that.
And don't follow the person that's looking back at you.
But I did that, and who I was like, boy, I look like Brad Pitt, just a nice, good-looking guy, and it's just how that works out sometimes. But you need steps within a strategy. And that's what Al is talking about, is having the right steps to follow. And that's what, we've designed this for over years and years of experience with our instructors. A lot of them came from the floors of the exchanges and were in the markets, have moved the markets. So that way you can see how it actually works on an institutional side. So that way you can make smart investing decisions in any account that you have. So that's what it's all about, is having those smart decisions, making you feel confident whether you're in your working years and you want to be able to retire when you want to retire, or you are retired, and ensuring that your nest egg is protected. So if you want to see what these strategies are, these techniques, these concepts, we have these investing classes right here at the Academy. By the way, these are only 2 hours of your time. Everybody has 2 hours of time. It's just how you allocate that time. If you have a goal or a desire to have the opportunity to improve your future, whether that is your time, you want to have flexibility of time. It's not always about money, but if it is, okay, that's great. There's different strokes for different folks, but that's why we have these investing classes, so you can make that decision, not somebody else, not a stranger that could be holding your money. So simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210, and that's for 2 seats for an investing class right here at the Academy. We talk about these income strategies, which we've discussed this whole show here today. Great show, by the way, an hour-long show for our listeners here in the Metro, but income strategies, retirement strategies if you're short on retirement, how to have an opportunity to boost that using leverage safely and properly, or simply just wanting to have opportunities as markets go down. Markets are up right now. That's the strategy. But when they go down, at least you have another tool in your tool belt. So simply text the word investing to the number 210, that's for 2 seats, or simply go to otamin.com. That's otaminn.com. Also, if you do miss part of the show, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. That's on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. You can just go to Investing and Trading Live. Al, you always have some great tidbits. You had some different insights today, but I want to hear today's OTA tip of the week.
Well, old habits and beliefs aren't going to get new results. To get new results, you have to challenge those beliefs to make any kind of a change. So find out what you want to change, why you want to change it, and then we can figure out how to help you do that. But if you want to do that, you have to start with changing your mental state. And that's something that you can control. But you do that by developing a story about yourself. Your life is a story. You can't go back and rewrite the beginning, but you can write the end. But make that story something that you want to make a reality for you. And what controls your life is going to be what you focus on. So focus on that story. Then you build a strategy. That strategy should help you to make that story a reality.
I really like that. It's that belief system, and we're trained and conditioned to believe certain things. Believe what you want to do and achieve what you want to do. It's going to take a little courage to do that. How you get started is these investing classes. Text investing to the number 210. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.